The evening air carried a slight chill as I stepped out of my car, adjusting the cuff of my blazer before heading toward the Grand Ember. It was a place I had chosen with care. A high-end restaurant nestled in the heart of the city, renowned for its ambiance, fine dining, and impeccable service. Tonight was supposed to be a celebration, a gathering of warmth, love, and appreciation. My wife, Sophia, had planned the dinner with her family, insisting it would be special. As I walked through the grand entrance, the rich aroma of gourmet dishes filled the air. Soft jazz hummed through the speakers, and the lighting was dimmed to just the right level to exude sophistication. Couples and families sat at elegantly set tables, clinking glasses and murmuring in hushed, pleasant tones. My heart carried a familiar excitement. There was nothing better than spending a special day surrounded by loved ones. But then my gaze fell on the table at the far end of the room. A wave of discomfort rolled over me as I took in the scene before me. Sophia sat with her family, her mother Lorraine, her father Gerald, and her younger brother Ryan, huddled together in laughter. Glasses of wine were nearly empty, and dessert plates were smeared with chocolate and cream. They were relaxed, enjoying themselves too much, and I wasn't even at the table yet. I slowed my steps, my excitement evaporating into confusion. I checked my watch. I was exactly on time. So why did it look like the dinner had already happened? For a moment, I thought they hadn't noticed me, but then Sophia glanced up, her expression unreadable. A smirk curled at the edge of her lips, and she leaned back in her seat as if she had been waiting for me all along. "Oh, perfect timing," she said, waving casually, like I was some distant acquaintance and not her husband arriving at his own birthday dinner. Lorraine chuckled, as if sharing an inside joke with the others. I stepped closer, still trying to make sense of what I was seeing. Why did it feel like I had walked in on something I wasn't meant to? The table was littered with empty plates, crumpled napkins, and half-drunk glasses of wine. I glanced at the servers clearing the dishes, confirming my worst suspicion. They had already eaten. Did you all start without me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Ryan, still chewing on a piece of cake, shrugged. "Oh, yeah, we got hungry." I blinked. Hungry? I swallowed down the sting in my throat, my gaze shifting to Sophia, expecting, hoping for an explanation. Instead, she reached across the table with an easy grace and slid something toward me. A small white slip. The check. Confused, I looked down at the bill, my eyes widening at the absurd total. "This is your present," Lorraine quipped, laughing lightly as though this was some kind of family tradition I wasn't aware of. Gerald nodded, a smirk playing on his face. "Come on, it's only fair. You're the man of the house, aren't you?" Ryan snorted, barely containing his amusement. "Consider it a token of appreciation for your generosity." I felt my fingers tighten around the check, the crisp paper bending under my grip. My mind reeled, trying to comprehend what was happening. They had gone ahead and eaten without me. They had celebrated without me. And then, as if that wasn't enough, they expected me to pay for all of it. I exhaled slowly, my pulse drumming against my temples. This was a joke. It had to be. No one would do something like this to their own family. But the smug expressions staring back at me told me otherwise. Something inside me snapped. My hand moved on its own, gripping the check and tearing it clean in half. The sharp rip was the only sound in the moment of stunned silence that followed. I let the pieces fall onto the table, my heart pounding in my ears. Sophia's smirk faltered. Gerald's brows lifted in surprise. Lorraine frowned, clearly unimpressed. I pulled out my phone, my fingers moving swiftly over the screen as I placed a call. The moment I hung up, I looked up and met Sophia's gaze. She leaned forward slightly, her expression shifting from amusement to curiosity. "What did you just do?" I exhaled, my voice calm, too calm. You'll find out soon enough. A hush settled over the table, the mood shifting like a storm cloud rolling in. For the first time that night, I saw something flicker in their expressions: uncertainty. And then, as if the universe had been waiting for this moment, the restaurant manager, Mr. Caldwell, approached our table. He was a tall man, refined in his movements, his tailored suit crisp and impeccable. Flanking him were two security guards, their presence unmistakable. "Excuse me, sir," Mr. Caldwell began, his voice polite yet firm. "There seems to be an issue with the payment." I nodded, gesturing toward my wife and her family. "No issue at all," I said smoothly. "My wife's family here insisted on treating me tonight." Lorraine's mouth opened slightly, her eyes darting between me and the manager. "Wait. What?" she blurted. I folded my arms. "Well, it only makes sense, right? You wouldn't invite someone out for their own birthday and make them pay, would you?" Gerald shifted uncomfortably. Sophia's face hardened. The restaurant manager remained professional but unyielding. "If no payment is provided, I'm afraid we'll have to take further action." Silence. Ryan swallowed thickly, suddenly no longer amused. Lorraine turned to Sophia. "Fix this." Sophia's eyes narrowed at me, her earlier smirk now gone. "You're really doing this?" I met her stare without hesitation. "You already did." The tension at the table was suffocating. Gerald sighed. "Just pay the damn bill." "No," Lorraine snapped. "This is ridiculous." "He's just being petty." The guards didn't budge. I stood up, buttoning my blazer. "If they refuse to pay, feel free to involve the authorities." I turned to leave, my pulse steady, my mind oddly clear. "I'm done here." As I walked away, the murmurs of the restaurant followed me. I could hear the hushed whispers, the awkward glances, the judgmental looks thrown at my wife and her family. For once, I wasn't the one being made a fool of. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't the one left humiliated. I stepped out into the cool night air, inhaling deeply, feeling a strange sense of relief. My phone buzzed. I pulled it out, glancing at the screen. A message from Sophia. "Sophia, what the hell is wrong? With you?" I let out a humorless laugh, slipping my phone back into my pocket. I didn't reply. Tonight, I had finally sent a message of my own. The moment I stepped out of the car, she launched into it. "Where the hell have you been?" Sophia snapped, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. I closed the car door calmly, walking toward her without rushing. "Out." "Out?" she scoffed. "Do you have any idea what you did tonight? You embarrassed me. No, you embarrassed my entire family." I stepped past her and into the house, ignoring her tirade as I took off my jacket and placed my keys on the counter. "Are you even listening to me?" she demanded, slamming the door behind her. I turned to face her, my expression unreadable. "Oh, I'm listening, Sophia. I've been listening for years." She blinked, thrown off by my tone. "Then you should know how messed up what you did was." I let out a dry laugh. "What I did? You mean finally standing up for myself?" She rolled her eyes. "Oh, don't be dramatic. It was just a joke." My patience snapped. "A joke?" I took a step closer, and for the first time in a long time, I saw something flicker in her expression. Uncertainty. "Tell me, Sophia, would you have found it funny if the roles were reversed? If it was your birthday and I made you feel like an afterthought? If I let my family belittle you, humiliate you, and then hand you the bill like you were nothing more than a bank account?" Silence. She didn't have an answer. "Exactly," I said, my voice quieter now. "But you know what? It's not even about the dinner. It's about respect. And tonight, you made it crystal clear that I have none in this marriage." She scoffed, shaking her head. Oh, come on. Don't be ridiculous. I studied her for a moment. Do you even love me, Sophia? Her hesitation was brief, a flicker of doubt across her face, but it was long enough. I exhaled. You know what? Don't answer that. I turned away, heading for the stairs. Where are you going? She demanded. To sleep. Oh, so now you're just going to ignore me? I stopped at the foot of the stairs, gripping the railing. I'm tired, Sophia. Tired of fighting for a place in my own marriage. Tired of pretending everything is fine when it's not. Tonight, I finally saw things clearly. And honestly, I don't think I like what I see. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. For once, she didn't have a comeback. I climbed the stairs, my heart heavy yet strangely lighter at the same time. For the first time in a long time, I was done being the fool. The next morning, I woke to the sound of a door slamming upstairs. My eyes flickered open to the early morning light creeping through the curtains. The couch beneath me was stiff, my body aching from the uncomfortable position I'd spent the night in. Another door slammed. I heard Sophia moving around, her footsteps heavy and purposeful. She was pissed. Good. I sat up slowly, rubbing the back of my neck. My phone still lay on the coffee table where I'd left it the night before. A dozen missed calls from Sophia's mother, Lorraine, along with a few texts. Lorraine, you're unbelievable. After all we've done for you, this is how you treat us? Lorraine, you're lucky Sophia married you at all. You're nothing without her. Lorraine, fix this, now. I exhaled through my nose, my grip tightening around the phone. Lorraine had never respected me, but this was a new level of audacity. Another message came in, this time from Marcus. Marcus, so, did you survive the night? I smirked slightly before replying. Me, barely. I think I just set my marriage on fire. His response was instant. Marcus, about time. I ran a hand through my hair. Last night had been a breaking point, but now, in the sober light of morning, the reality of my situation sank in. What happens next? I didn't have an answer. A few minutes later, Sophia's footsteps thundered down the stairs. She appeared in the living room, dressed in a fitted black blouse and pressed pants, her blonde hair pulled back into a tight ponytail. Polished, prepared for battle, her arms crossed. Are you done acting like a child? I met her gaze evenly. Good morning to you too. She let out an exasperated sigh. You really embarrassed me last night, you know that? I scoffed. I embarrassed you? I leaned forward, resting my elbows on my knees. You and your family laughed and ate while I walked into my own birthday dinner like a damn outsider. Then you handed me the bill like I was an ATM. But I embarrassed. You? Oh my God. It was a joke. No, I said firmly. A joke is something both people find funny. That was just you and your family showing me exactly where I stand. She pursed her lips. So what? You're going to sulk about it forever? I laughed under my breath. She still didn't get it. This isn't about one dinner, Sophia. This is about all the times you and your family have treated me like I don't matter. Last night wasn't the first time. It was just the first time I fought back. Her jaw tightened. So what now? You want an apology? I studied her. I want you to tell me the truth. She frowned. What truth? I exhaled, the weight of the question heavy in my chest. Do you even love me, Sophia? For the second time in 24 hours, hesitation flickered across her face. A beat passed, then another, and that was all the answer I needed. I stood, stretching my stiff limbs. That's what I thought. Her expression hardened. Oh, don't be dramatic. I let out a humorless chuckle. Right, because God forbid I expect my wife to care about me. She sighed, rubbing her temples. Look, I don't have time for this. I have a meeting in an hour. Of course she did. Fine, I said, stepping past her. Go to your meeting. But when you get back, we're having a real conversation. And if you're not willing to do that..." I paused at the foot of the stairs, looking over my shoulder. "Then maybe we need to